modernization engagements. Let's have a quick glance about it. So here we go. So this is an modern interface where I have some list of candidature project. So with which I'm going to take for an analysis. So if I go for this, of course, there is an ADDI discovery client we are using. So I've chosen an application with which we are going to go for an analysis. And you see here the various reports in this area you can able to retrieve, like kind of a complexity report, dataset report, impact analysis, and inventories, and how the variables have been getting used. Or how about your program call graph and mainframe screen, transaction layout, transaction flows, data flow, program flow. So everything you can able to support and see. And of course, it also supports scheduler like CA7 and other things. So these kind of enormous, huge report you can able to get it. PL bar 1, IMS related calls, everything you're able to access. Let us have a quick brief about how do I get my program call graph. I'm choosing the program call graph. And I see here the list of programs. Let's say, for example, I want to, whichever program I'm interested, probably I can select and give it to, I can move on and see it. Just I wanted to see the complete thing. I'm selecting all, and I need 3 levels, and I'm just completing it. So probably I can see here the graph is getting generated, and here you go. So this is a huge call graph, right? So you could see various forms wherein you can able to get it. And this is actually, you have a various layouts as well. You can able to change the layout and get the details. And whatever the application I've selected, if you look at the graph inventory, I have CICS transaction 6, and I have, these are all the programs, 36 programs are there. And what are the files I can able to, database tables, I can able to get it from here. Okay, let's say, for example, I'm going to look into a particular program, how, what is the database table. Let's say I have having an impact analysis for a DB2 table. Let's say a customer table. So how we are going to drill down and get the details from this, we're going to see. And let's say, for example, before that, at whatever the level, supposing if I'm choosing one particular program, I can able to see here the detailed way, what are the other programs it is invoking, right? So what are the trans ID, how it is invoked, what is the database it is connecting with. So this program is now connecting with what are the tables we can see. Let me take some other application where, let me just take this. Okay, so it is a kind of a menu driven program. So from here, I could see the trans ID. This is invoked by this trans ID, and this is going to have your map design here. So if you wanted to see the map, so if you see, select this, your properties tag is giving you this is a map, BMS map, and this is your COBOL code, right? So from here, if you like to see, you can able to go for source code also, view your analysis of source code, you can do it. It will give you the source code. And so this is my table, sorry, now your screen, and this is your table, which is called by another program. Okay, so as of now, like, let me see, for example, if this is what it is taking up. So this calls whatever it is impacting is having it in this one, the line numbers, which say I can exactly get the line number where the screen is invoked and what is a map and map set. So the same way here is another one. So I'm just looking into it so I can see what are the other areas I can able to get it. So if you can go to source, you can able to get where it is invoked. And let me go for a customer. Okay, so I will just, so now the customer table is selected. So for this customer table, let me just precisely get from here so that I can have a focused here, the customer. So customer table. Right. So from this customer table, let's say, for example, I have an impact which need to be discussed or done for this something, my task is around this one. So if you see, there is a table which reads from this, from the this thing itself, it will look like, or what are the other programs where it is interacting. You can able to see this. Maybe a little bit, I'm enlarging it. So there are two programs where it is getting an updates and one program it is reading. So this database is handled by three programs. So now I have a clarity that when I wanted to touch this one, the impact is going to be on this. So what kind of a call it is making? So this is actually, when I see here, my property window popping up, and I could see this is actually select. And by arrow itself, it is reading it. So obviously it is selecting an information from a database table. And if I look at this, and it is actually showing up as an update. So this program is the one which is called below, that is actually an updating and database table here. And this program is something DB Corp LGA Corp B is now showing up here. It is going to be an insert. So the one is inserting one update and one select. So altogether is a three program which is associated with this table. So if I wanted to make this changes on this table, my impact is on these three tables, right? So it's as simple as that. You could able to understand. In case if I wanted to convert this into API calls, so these fields have to be converted into API web enable. So this is how it will be. And let me take, for example, I like to see what is the user interface, how it is. So I'm just selecting this layout. I can go for a screen layout. I could even see that how the screen layout is designed, right? So as simply, I can easily, with no time, I can able to get the complete detail about this. So for the simple impact analysis, we could able to get these details. And let me try to explore for some other options. Let's say, for example, I wanted to get into a transaction flow. So for the same application, I like to see the transaction flow. And there are so many transactions there, how it is invoked. So I wanted to see the level depth of 3, and I could get this reports on how the transaction is flow happens, how the various programs is called, which transaction is calling. We could able to easily relate and come back with the reports. And from here, you can see how this is connected with your interfaces, other maps, and which program is accessing this. So you can easily get to know about this. So let's say, for example, this one, where it is actually sending a map or receiving a map, you could able to see the details from this, right? So it is receiving a map on which line of the code we have seen it. And this is actually another code, which is maybe not the screen, I believe. So you can able to see the link program. It is calling another program via link. So the calling program, the called program, the graph, everything you can able to see from this one. And let me go for another option. Let me say, for example, I'd like to understand kind of a complexity report, right? So on the whole, I'm going for a modernization or something like that. I like to understand the complexity about this application, how it need to be, or so that accordingly I can derive at the estimate kind of. So I'm selecting all the applications. I could able to get the report on cyclomatic complexity report. So it shows a kind of a list of the program, so various list of the program which is available in this, and how under each there are number of programs, complexity report with how it is categorized, easy, difficult, and complex based on your line of code, or right, the level of this thing is involved, it is classifying it. So this will give you at least a bare minimum uh, estimate we can able to derive. So it's a scoring, complexity scoring for each program. So based on that, it can be categorized. There are some factors this tools will follow, and it will get you this report. So that's where it is categorizing as this. This will help us to understand the level of the depth involved and take it for a kind of an estimates and other stuff. So this will support us for this one. And let me go for another one, which is an let's say, for example, inventory missing component. So is there any kind of a program inventory you can do missing components? So I'm going for a missing component report, taking everything into account. Yeah, here you go. So this is an kind of an report which gives you the line of the components which is missing. So, right, we can easily figure out so whether those are the programs or are missing programs and you cannot able to figure out them or dead code report. This is one of the major things we see as in legacy customers or very much it's used 20 or 20 years or 30 years ago. There will be so many programs will be unreferenced, right, under and not used or not called at all. So unreferenced report. So this is actually a report. It's giving you a clear understanding about how many programs are unreferenced. So there are 6% of the program out of these applications are not referenced. What are they and where it is available? What are the map or transaction IDs are mapped? So we are getting the clarity about this. And let us try for something else. Maybe I wanted to see whether how the program variables is going to impact or something like that. Let me go for a COBOL variable usage report and all the variables, how it is used in these programs. Let's say I'm taking up one particular program and I like to see the particular variable I wanted to do the code change, right? So how it is going to be impacted. So I'll go for the impact analysis on the particular field or field expansion or field usage. Let me go for an impact analysis and see a particular uh, variable if I choose, if how those variables have been changed is going to impact. So there is something called customer number. Let me take it up this and try to see how this variable or field, if I do the changes, how it is going to have an impact on the complete wholesome application. So I got a 6-page summary report. It is going to give you a brief about, right, on sec. So detailed impact, how many variables, how many programs it is going to impact. So there are 2 programs which is getting impacted and 5 different variables which is correlated along with this. And what are those? So you have in the particular program, whatever name from to, so from where the dependent is, how the values moved from here, right? From section and to section in COM area, where it is moved, in the temporary working storage area, how it is moved. And so the context of other program, how the from to impact type, it's a calling program or direct dependencies or how it is indirect dependencies, in what way it is dependent, whether you're passing as an argument or it is an impact on the direct dependencies. So when you're writing a message, how it is going to impact. So all these aspects it is going to give you in a very beautiful way, and the transaction, whatever is involved into invoking these programs. So calling this program. So the program, this is calling other programs through the error message, and how this the field which we are going to change is going to come in picture when you're handling this. Okay, so let us have a little bit of something else. And then I like to see whether it is going to invoke any kind of a IMS database usage. Probably if it is, it will give you the options, otherwise it will not. So apply. I see no data. So there is no IMS related databases are available, which is good. So let me go for, maybe I'm just getting into something else. Let me go for a little high level report. Data flow, how the data flow happens, because pretty much we're handing into database. So I can choose this database. Okay, so I do not find any kind of a data store for this. And yeah, let me have flowchart report maybe. Yeah, for another application I've selected. So let me say, for example, one particular thing, how this program flows, the individual program control flow, right? Yeah. So, right, let me go for, so in this one, there is how many statements, 75 statements. So we can select from here. So the accept date, where it is happening, how it is flowing. So what are the various segments? What is an if flow control? How the flow control happens? Okay, go to perform. So these things will help you to easily analyze your code. So it's these modern interfaces, modern application is help you to get analysis report. Whatever the legacy application is missing with the documentation, it gives you a good documentation and analysis report, the complete program control, transaction flow, data flow, and the variable impact analysis, and so all kind of a detailed unreferenced report, dead code report, so the complexity reports. So these aspects will help you to understand easily when you go for an code change in the legacy application or modernizing the legacy application. Thank you so much.